The Cowboys clinched the number 2 seed in the NFC after a massive win over the Washington Commanders. A dominant victory is just what the Cowboys needed heading into their playoff run that starts next weekend. So let's talk about this Cowboys win, what I liked, what I really didn't like, and what it means for the Cowboys heading into the playoffs. Let's get into the video. One of the biggest questions coming into this game was, can the Cowboys win when they need it the most? Although the Commanders aren't a good football team and Dallas had already clinched their playoff spot, the Cowboys were playing a team with nothing to lose. If Washington wins this game, they get the satisfaction of knocking the Cowboys off the 2 seed. If the Commanders lose, well, they're going home anyway, so it doesn't really matter. For Dallas, they had everything to lose, the number 2 seed and their confidence moving forward into the playoffs. We've seen teams in the past, including Cowboys teams, fail in games just like this. So for them to go out there and pretty much win this game by the end of the third quarter, that's a positive in my book. For what I liked from this game, let's start on the offensive side of the ball. Although Tony Pollard's yards per carry don't look much different than they have in weeks past, it felt like Dallas had a much better day on the ground. Pollard finished with 17 carries for 70 yards. Rico Dowdle finished with 9 carries for 46 yards at 5.1 yards per carry. And you got to remember, Dallas was missing 2 very important pieces across that offensive line. Tyler Smith had his injury last week, and Zach Martin missed this game with an illness. So without those 2 guys, for the Cowboys offensive line to go in there and have 131 yards on the ground, that's pretty good. And I might add, the Commanders have a good defensive interior. As for the Cowboys' air attack, Dak Prescott finished with an 86% completion percentage for 279 yards and 4 touchdowns. Once again, another efficient day from the Cowboys quarterback. It felt like when you're playing basketball and you just can't miss. That's how it was with Dak Prescott and his completions today. Of course, his favorite target, Ceedee Lamb, racked up 13 catches for 98 yards and 2 touchdowns, with Ferguson catching 6 for 69 yards, Dowdle with 3 for 54, and Cooks with 6 for 39 and a touchdown as well. The ball was getting dispersed all over the field on offense, with Ceedee Lamb getting a bulk of the workload. To me, that stat line that I just read off right there is perfect. Your number 1 was your number 1 option, and everyone else had solid days around him, including your running backs. A perfect split between all of your weapons on offense. I thought Mike McCarthy called a great game. I thought Dak Prescott played great as well. You're going to need all of these guys to show up in the playoffs if you want to continue to win games. That's what I liked from the offense. Now let's take a look at the Cowboys defense. I did think that this game started out a bit shaky, giving up 4 fourth down conversions to start the game. And honestly, in my head, I was thinking, okay, Washington's just going to go for it on every 4th down because why not? You're playing with house money. But once the defense settled in, Washington couldn't do anything. Dallas finished the day with 4 sacks, 5 tackles for loss, 2 interceptions, 6 passes defended, and 7 quarterback hits. All of that kept Washington to just 10 points in this game. Like I said, they certainly started off a bit shaky, but once they really settled in, I thought they were great. Now, that's everything that I liked from the Cowboys offense and defense. Let's take a look at what I didn't like. And from this game, there wasn't a ton of things to complain about. It's a win. You clinched the 2 seed. What are we doing, you know? Why would I sit here and complain? So let's quickly go over the Stephon Gilmore injury, because at the time, I certainly didn't like that. Gilmore went down with what initially appeared as some sort of arm injury. After the game, Michael Gelkin tweeted, Cowboys cornerback Stephon Gilmore said his shoulder popped out of place. He popped it back in, didn't return tonight, but he said, I'm good. He plans to play against Packers in first round of playoffs, which is massive news if it holds up throughout the week. Sometimes the Cowboys can, stretch the truth a little bit when it comes to these injuries, but a good sign after the game. For me, I had definitely been holding my breath ever since the injury happened, because the Cowboys cannot afford to lose another cornerback. You already lost Trayvon Diggs for the year, and if Stephon Gilmore weren't able to play, you'd be in big trouble. They're already thin at the position, so that would have been a big loss. But for right now, it seems like the Cowboys avoided that. So that's all I got for you guys right now. Now it's time to go focus on the Green Bay Packers. That's right, the Packers are headed to AT&T Stadium to take on the Cowboys in the wild card round. But that's something that we're going to have to discuss later this week. So if you're not, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We're going to be talking Cowboys, Packers all week long here on the Double Move channel. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Don't miss a single video. Thank you guys for watching. I love you all.